Mm, 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 mm. It is just a shame. Welcome, you guys. Welcome to the Donovan Sadiq Show. I am Donovan Sadiq, and I will be your host, as you guys know that tune into my show. Christmas is over, thank God. Holiday madness is done. I'm going to speak about that a little bit later on here. It is December 26th, 2020. This year cannot end soon enough. I just hope everybody is washing their hands and wearing their masks and doing all this because I'm getting sick and tired of you guys complaining about what you can't do, and you're tired of being stuck in the house, and you want to go places and stuff like that. Now, if you guys are saying that, and it's your right to say it, I hope you now know what that dog that you had that was a cute little puppy, then it grew up, and then you threw it in the backyard as a lawn ornament, and you got it tied up, and it's outside in the cold and the rain and stuff. How do you think that dog feels? Now you know what an animal feels like when it's tied up and can't go anywhere. Yeah, you could see everybody marching and stuff. I mean, just take 30 minutes of your time and just walk the damn dog around the block and let it stretch its legs and get new smells and all that other stuff. I walk around my neighborhood with my dog every day, 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. If I do 30 minutes in the morning or 30 minutes at night, I kind of alternate it, but she gets her time in. And it ain't much, but even though she has a big backyard, she's still in a prison. So I let her go walk around, and the sad thing is she has dog buddies that are just locked up in the yards. And she goes over there, and it's like she's almost she's almost antagonizing them, because I have a very sweet dog. She's very sweet. Raised her to not be aggressive. And she just shakes her thing like, look at me, guys. I'm outside. Look, you guys are locked up and stuff like that. But the thing is, those poor dogs look forward to seeing her because it's probably the only other dog interaction they really get in a day or two. So all you people out there that are complaining about you can't go here, you can't do this, you're tired of being stuck in the house, and you have animals, and that animal's in the backyard as a lawn ornament, I want you to think about that. Damn, if you're tired of going out, here's your excuse to take the dog to go outside. How about that? Use this as an excuse to go outside. So if you're a young teenager or something listening to the show, use the dog as an excuse just to walk around your neighborhood. And then as you walk around your neighborhood, I want you to observe your neighborhood. So when you see the graffiti that's on the walls and you see the trash that is out there and you see all these things, my question to you is, what are you going to do about it? You're just going to just walk by and step over it, which a lot of people do. I would hate to see their homes, because if you're doing that in the public, God knows what your house looks like. No, a lot of cities have apps where you can call this stuff in. You got a smartphone, take a picture of it, call it in, and they'll come and take care of it. Everybody in my neighborhood knows because they see me every day walking my dog. And they know I'm calling this in, I'm calling that in. I'm using the city app. I mean, the city sees my stuff all the time. So if I'm out there every day, these badass kids that came from LA that moved out here, and you could tell that they're Chicano by their writings and stuff. Because there is a lot of black people left in California. I mean, they're all getting the hell out of here because they've been gentrified out of the area. They can't afford to live here. So, these are all Hispanic kids doing, what, I'm not saying doing what Hispanic kids do, but doing what inner city kids do. Right? The parents don't want to deal with them. The parents are out. I mean, I was at the park today and I saw a Hispanic parent smoking weed, watching his daughter play on the damn playground. I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, is this what we've come to? But the point is, I don't care how many times these kids graffiti, I'm going to call it in because I pay taxes to have a graffiti unit run around the city. But one day I'm going to find them. And then I'm going to turn their asses in. So, that's what I want you to do. Use your dog as an excuse to get out of the house, walk around your neighborhood, because now you get to see what's out. You get out of the house, and the dog gets out of the house and stretches its legs for the very, very, very first time or for a time in a long time. And I'm seeing a lot of my neighbors taking their dogs, these little poodle type dogs or whatever, and they're walking to the park and back doing exactly what I do. And, dogs like to know each other and all that other good stuff. So, yeah. So I want so think about that. But it's the day after Christmas, and I have a lot of things I really want to talk about, and there's just never enough time in the day to really talk about it. And the title of this episode is "The Black Minstrels Are Still Towing the Line." What do I mean by that? Now, it is kind of ironic that you have the new black media out here warning you, telling you what is going to happen. Now, Donald Trump is gone. For you guys that voted him out, great for you. Pat yourself on the back. Oh, wow, he's gone. Great. But what did you get? There's an article I posted on my Facebook page. You guys want to go there? It's Donovan Sadiq on Facebook. And I post a lot of political stuff there, because I want you guys to think. We don't have enough critical thinkers anymore. They're all gone. I don't know what happened to them. Okay. And I want you guys to think. We've been telling you about the mass incarceration ticket. Okay. And the mass incarceration ticket of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. They're telling you in your face what they're gonna do and what they're not gonna do. And we got these young minstrels, blackface, Negroes, still talking about the same bullshit. Talking about, well, let's wait to see what they're gonna do. We can't afford to wait. What about that don't you understand? If we keep waiting and voting the wrong people in, we are losing time. Do you guys realize, and we said it on the Demetra K show, on the War Zone, on my show, black people, Andrew Yang said this, have less than 12 years to slavery. Our wealth is going to be gone, and nobody predicted the pandemic. So you can't keep talking about, let's wait and see what they're going to do. We don't have time. We are running out of time. Just today, I posted on my Facebook page, Joe Biden said that even though Schumer and a lot of the progressives are saying, yeah, wipe away $50,000 worth of debt. You can do that. The president has the power to do that. He can wipe that debt away. Joe Biden says, not in the Constitution. Ain't going to do it. Ain't going to happen. He said he might do $10,000. And don't get me wrong, $10,000 is a lot of money to some people, okay? But $10,000 ain't shit if you have an $80,000 to $120,000 student loan debt with the compound interest of God knows what your interest is and what you got it on. So $10,000 is going to help you. But you guys voted this person in. And now you're saying, well, Trump wouldn't have done any better. What's the difference? What's the difference? A bigot is a bigot, a racist is a racist. And you get these young kids, and I love the way the baby boomers have brainwashed their grandchildren to believe that if they're patient, things are going to change. Now, I was arguing with a young man that wasn't born until 1991 this morning. And here's the crux of the situation. And this is what I mean by minstrels. I don't know if this is a white person in blackface or a black person in blackface. Okay. This guy told me, if Joe doesn't, do this, it doesn't look good for a Kamala Harris administration. What the fuck do you think Kamala Harris is going to do different? Do you actually believe, young man, that Joe Biden put Kamala Harris on the ticket because she was progressive? Because she was going to help push progressive policies and do things for black people? You don't put people on your ticket that don't get on board with what you're doing 100%. It's not going to happen. And that's what I'm saying. We need critical thinkers. Okay? You put people on your ticket that is going to do your bidding 100%. Now, 2 years ago, Kamala Harris was on stage with Joe Biden calling him a racist. But you guys got to remember, Kamala Harris is an opportunist. So I pointed this out to this young man and I said, look, Kamala side piece Harris, da 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 da, right? He got offended at the fact that I called her a side piece. It's disrespectful to black women and just women, period. Now, this brother looks like that Kentucky AG down there. He seems like he's one of those type Negroes, okay? Got him a white woman, he lives in and it's amazing how the people who don't live in California, and you don't have to live in California if you did the homework to understand Kamala Harris's record here. But it's always these people that think they know Kamala Harris better than the people who were under a Kamala Harris torture chamber. She was one of the worst AGs in California history. Ask anybody from California. They will tell you that. Kamala Harris's presidential ambitions were blown up by the new black media when all of this stuff started coming out on her. The only reason she's the vice president is because the Democrats, or the Democrats, because I'm a recovering Democrat or Democrat, however you want to call it. I'm a recovering Democrat, like a recovering alcoholic. I wised up. I quit the shit. You know what I mean? I'm done. The only reason she was saved is because the Democrats think that she's going to galvanize the black vote. And she did that with the sororities and stuff like that. The sororities that actually do white supremacy's bidding, the AKAs, the alphas, the omegas, whatever. And don't get me wrong. I know sororities and these fraternities back east and down south. That's a big thing down there. And they probably do great things in the community down there. But I'm on the West Coast. The fraternities are not very big here, especially black fraternity, because we don't have a lot of black schools and all that other stuff. This is mostly, I live basically in what was the former Mexico. Okay, so you have a lot of Hispanics here. You have a lot of white folks, rich people and stuff like that live out here, right? So I'm very sure these sororities do a lot in the communities. Okay, so let's go with that argument. They do a lot in the community. Let's say you're a fraternity or sorority that's been around for at least 100 years. I'm going to give you that, 100 years. Let's look at the South. You mean to tell me after 100 years of you guys and your philanthropy and your outreach to the community, the South looks the way it does? Let's go where there are some of these HBCUs. Let's go to Louisiana, my birth state. I'm from California. I've been here since I was 6 months old. Okay. So I don't know anything more than California. I was born in Louisiana, which I call Louisiana. Okay. And the reason I call it Louisiana is because of the racism and the abrupt racism that still exists there. The people are great. The food is good. You know what I mean? I'm not turning my back. I love visiting there. The laid back style and all that other good stuff like that. I love it. But it's not progressive. It couldn't compete with California. It just couldn't compete with the world. I know people are saying, well, how can you say that? I travel a lot, okay? I do a lot of traveling. And I'm telling you, where I'm from in Louisiana and the South, they could not compete in a world economy because they just don't. Look at their numbers. Mississippi is consistently rated 48th to 50th when it comes to just about anything, when it comes to statistics of states and, their education, obesity, whatever it is. So, let's just stop all that bullshit, right? So that argument about what the sororities do and what the fraternities do, you got to come up with a better argument, because I'm not impressed. I and a lot of people are not impressed. The proof is in the pudding. Critical thinking. Your proof is in the pudding. After 100 years of fraternity, you still got people, let's say down in Louisiana, the Ninth Ward in Louisiana, the Fifth Ward in Houston, all of these at Chicago, all these areas where black people are just being shot down, thoughtism, which is very prevalent in the sororities. This is what you guys are clicking on and stuff like that, and this little internal thing that you guys do. Oh, I'm an AKA, or I'm a, alpha, I'm a this, that. Okay, that's great. I've met a lot of people from the sororities that come out here and think because they're AKA or whatever, that's going to give them privilege. It doesn't give them privilege here. The bad thing I hate about California is people hide behind their positions. Whereas, down in the South and stuff like that, people are outright racist and you just don't, you have to get a hookup to be good, to get a job. And that's bullshit. So how could you sit there and tell me that they're doing these great things when it takes somebody already in a position to get you a job, a good paying job? But yet you have this woman that is a vice president and a sorority person who's there that refuses to do anything for black people. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. So back to Kamala Harris. So this young man's arguing, I'm being very disrespectful to women, black women and women, by saying that she's a side piece. Bullshit. Okay. That's bullshit. Now he took it that way. How is it disrespectful if what I'm saying is true? It would be disrespectful if it wasn't true. If I called your girl a hoe and she's a nun, oh yeah, that's disrespectful. That is disrespectful. You know what I mean? This chick is, wholesome. She never does anything wrong. That's disrespectful. But see, we've got these black faces, these minstrels out here that is trying to tell you what's right and what's wrong when they're misguiding you, like the minstrel. You don't know it's a white person in blackface or a black person in blackface. Remember Al Jolson? He was the white guy that got famous off doing blackface. But he was portraying a black man really, really good. So it's kind of hard to tell, especially if you were coming at him from a distance, because he looks black until you get up and then you get underneath the skin. Oh, that's a white guy. Oh my God. So this young man, I was fighting Desert Storm before this kid was even born. Okay. And don't get me wrong. I love the fact that he has an opinion. I love that. But know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. I'm not saying because I'm an older person that I have all the answers. I don't, but I do critically think. So if you ever come on my page, by the way, Facebook, Donovan Sadiq, I always put up things to make people think about what I'm saying. And it gets them critically thinking. And I learned that in college in critical thinking class. You ask a question and people start thinking, and then you start hearing their responses. Okay? So how is it disrespectful to call Kamala Harris a side piece when it's true? I mean, I would be slandering her if what I said isn't true. Did she not date and was the mistress of a married man known as the original Slick Willie Brown of California? Is that not true? So if that is true, then how is that disrespectful? You got to call a hoe a hoe. You got to call a Negro a Negro and a nigga a nigga. You know what I mean? There's a difference. Because if there were no hoes, there'd be no nice girls, right? I know you guys are saying this guy's crazy. What the hell is he talking about? That's insane. No, that's critical thinking. You can't have light without darkness. You can't have yin without yang. You can't have hoes without nice girls. Okay? You can't have an alpha without a beta and a Charlie and a delta. You see what I'm saying? They all go together. So please, somebody explain to me how I am being disrespectful when what I said was true. And this young man came back and was like, oh, it's unacceptable. You're tearing down. Wait. No, I'm not tearing down anybody. I'm putting out fact. That is a fact. That's how she started her career. Okay? It is a fact she locked up single parents for their kids' truancy. It is a fact, just like Tulsi Gabbard called her out she locked up innocent people that are still in prison today. But I'm disrespectful. Don't you think it's disrespectful not to talk about and put out these relevant truths? Then this young man tells me, well, LBJ, John Kennedy didn't do anything for blacks and civil rights, whatever. Okay, I agree with that, but he didn't live long enough to even worry about that. But I agree. He said it was Lyndon Johnson that did more for black people than any president ever. I don't know what book this young man is reading, and the civil rights thing, whatever. If the Civil Rights Bill and the Voting Rights Act is so great, especially the Voting Rights Act, why do we have to renew it for black people every 25 years? But he did so much for black people, so there was a sunset clause on whatever he did. And then this young man didn't even say the whole thing, okay? When Lyndon Johnson signed that bill, I quote, Lyndon Johnson, before he signed the bill, I will have these niggers voting Democratic for the next 500 years. God damn it. He's got 430 years to go. 40 years to go to keep us voting Democratic. And he was right. But see, he didn't know that part, or he left that part out. So what is the motive of Lyndon Johnson signing a civil rights bill and saying the statement that he said and signing a civil rights bill? Was it to help the race, or was there a grand scheme put in place? Because we can all agree that since the 1960, what's the last bill he signed? Anti-discrimination, whatever. So I'll give you guys a couple years. Let's say since 1968, has the black plight gotten better or worse? Did the civil rights movement stop after Dr. King? Can we agree? That's the year Dr. King got killed. So can we agree that the ball of civil rights stopped in around 1968, 69? So the ball hasn't moved in almost 50 years, almost damn near 60. So young man, what the fuck are you talking about? And you've got these minstrels talking about, we gotta wait. I'm 50 years old. I've been waiting for 50 years for things to get better. So here's the difference when you wait. And since this man's talking about progress, before all of this bullshit happened, we had our own stores, we had our own doctors, we had our own communities, we had all these things. I'm not even going to talk about Oklahoma and Black Wall Street. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about before all this bullshit went down, we shopped with ourselves. We saved ourselves. We didn't worry about Mr. Charlie and Miss Ann. We shopped at our own stores. We had our own mechanics. We had our own stuff. Not only were we doing maid work at Mrs. Ann's, we had our own businesses in our own communities. But who taught us to go shop with the white man? So by him signing that bill, was it about helping black people? Or was it about getting the black dollar? Nobody changes anything. The oppressor doesn't need to change anything when they're the oppressor, unless it puts money in their pocket. And everybody that listens to my show knows I tell you guys all the time, money makes the world go round. Right now, you got people that have no money in their pocket. They lost their jobs, no fault of their own. They're about to be evicted. It's done. It's a wrap. But could that stuff happen if you had money? But that's why I talk about reparations. What is the only thing that is going to solve the black person's plight? It's addressing the inequality, the wealth gap. Damn it. Reparations is a bill that needs to be paid. Doesn't matter what their excuses are. Doesn't matter. Half of us are going to trick that money off and still be in poverty. Doesn't matter. It's a bill that is owed and needs to be paid. But yet the Democrats continue to put other people ahead of us. The person that is now replacing Senator Kamala Harris is now a Hispanic. You heard Joe Biden say, you niggers, I'm paraphrasing, get in the back of the line because the Hispanics now outnumber you, so you got to work with them. Basically what he was saying by working with them, he was saying, you're going to start taking orders from them. You know what? I'm not saying he's right in the aspect, but he's right. You cannot be in a democratic society and your numbers not rise. Black people have been approximately 13% of the population since the 1960s. In the 1970s, Asians were 2% of the population. They are now at 9%. Why aren't we growing? Oh, that's right. We're on the let's help everybody before we help ourselves. It is estimated 19 million Black children have been aborted since 1973. 19 million. And you wonder why our numbers are not growing. We're being shot in the street. You know, in the 1960s, they didn't outright shoot us in the street because we stayed in our areas. But this young man talking about what progress? Not only are they shooting us and choking us to death in the streets, outright on camera, they're coming into our homes and murdering us. But you want us to wait? Wait for what? Our wealth as a people is less than, I would estimate, 8 years. 8 years. If you don't have any money in your damn pocket, young brother, they have laws called loitering. They arrest you on the charge. Now you're in the system where they can generate more money off of you. But you're Joe Biden. All you people that voted, vote blue no matter who. Now you're upset. The Black Lives Matter people are upset because Joe Biden refuses to meet with them, but he met with the Hispanic caucus. 11 million illegal Hispanics are going to get a path to citizenship based on an executive order that we don't know if it's constitutional or not, but the point is, do it and let the Supreme Court decide. It's all about the money. But, I'm Donovan, he's just paranoid. That Negro is just paranoid. Don't even listen to this guy. But guess what? I'm not part of the problem. I'm not going to play these games anymore. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. What needs to happen is both of these damn parties need to feel the pain. Okay? How do they feel the pain? We need to opt out. We need to opt out. Neither of these parties are doing anything for us. So you mean to tell me 11 million Hispanics are going to have a path to citizenship? That's 11 million more people overnight that are going to have a path to citizenship. And yet almost 50% of them vote Republican. And then you ask them, the ones that vote Republican, why do they vote Republican? They say, because, I have my own business. I like Donald Trump because, he's a businessman. Terrible businessman, but he's a businessman. So the Democratic Party is going to do for people who are not even half of them are not even going to vote for him. But 83% of Black people vote Democratic, and we can't even get a damn meeting with the president-elect. We expect this segregationist, this my best friend racist. I mean, what person does the eulogy of a known Klans member and then you would think that he's for Black people? How could you ever think that at 78 years old? It's crazy. But we got to wait. We got to be patient. I don't see the Hispanics being patient. I don't see the Asians. The Asians don't even care. And they're the richest group in the United States. They don't care because they have the money. When you got the money, you don't have to worry about a damn thing. So all of you guys that voted blue, I really do. I hope I'm wrong, but I doubt it. This man is not even hiding to you what he's going to do. He's not going to do anything for black people. He said it. Black people, what? Kamala Harris said it. Black people, huh? You expect me to? No, I'm not going to do anything specifically for black people. No. I'm not, what? That's what's going down, you guys. And I know Black Lives Matter and all these people that are upset. You're all pissed off. You know, you're in shock. You're just like, Biden said, they're in shock that this man is now, he got the presidency. The leverage is gone. There is no more leverage. You know? You guys gave that up. The leverage is gone. He's got the presidency. He don't need you no more. I'm going to say this, ladies. How many of you guys have been told by your aunts, your mom, some of you guys by your dads, dudes only want one thing. And once we get it, we're done, right? We will say anything we have to say to get that cookie. Right? Right? But yet, no matter what we tell you, you guys still fall for it. That is black people in a nutshell. That is black people in a freaking nutshell. We keep falling for the banana in the tailpipe. It is so freaking sad. It is just so sad. But the baby boomers, great job, you guys. Do you guys realize the leadership in Congress, Democrat and Republican, if you put them together, the average age of the leadership is 76 years old. A lot of people think that's not a problem. So what? You expect somebody who was born in the 1940s has solutions to the problems of today. Okay, if you believe that, I'm not going to say you shouldn't, but don't be mad when after 4 years of this bullshit that we're going to be going through, and they're going to use all the excuses just like Obama did. Well, I was obstructed by the Republicans, so I couldn't really do anything. But you did DACA. But you did the Dreamers. But you did reparations for the Holocaust survivors. You did everything you can do for everybody else, but when it came to us, I ran out of time. Couldn't do it. It's just like, what's the solution, Donovan? Well, one thing I know is a white man is not going to solve a black problem unless you make them. Okay? They're not going to do it. So the solution is just what the Honorable Louis Farrakhan has been saying. And I'm not even a Muslim. Do for self. Nobody's coming to save us. We are running out of time. And you got all these minstrels out here that are quick. And that's what kills me. That's what kills me of the whole thing. They are quick to do white supremacy's work. Being in the military, you have a lot of people that I know that are rednecks and they were raised a certain way. They're from the South or whatever. And they have their ways. If their daughter dated my son, they ain't having it. You know what I mean? And it's not for me to say what's right or what's wrong. Like I said, I tell my boys, you got to do this, you got to do that. Remember this, remember that. Like we tell our boys, do this, do that. You're a black man, you want to come home safe and all that other stuff. But I got all these, in the military, there's a lot of, right-wing people in the military. There just are. Some of our best troops are from the South. These people are very aggressive and they're very hateful. So you take a person from the South that just don't like black folks, but, he's raised with them in the community, as long as they're on their side. You take a person like that and you put him in the Middle East. How aggressive do you think that person's racism is going to be against somebody that he's been told is a terrorist? I saw it firsthand in my time in the military. I was like, why is this person so damn aggressive? Oh, he's from Texas. Oh, okay, got it. They're not going to tell you that overtly. But when somebody identifies somebody as a terrorist based on what he perceives because of a person's skin, that's a racist connotation. Okay? So we have to get out of this not telling the truth type stuff. Kamala Harris is a hoe. And I will challenge anybody to refute and disprove what I just said. She's a hoe. She was dating a married man. Okay? Mistress, side piece, however you want to call it or categorize it, you can't get around it. You can't get around it because that's a fact. We have to save ourselves. But you got these minstrels out here. Well, let me go back to what I was saying in regards to my friends that are, far right. Every time they go on my page or they listen to my podcast or they see my video cast, they go, Donovan, this is why they don't understand why black people fight me harder than they do. Now, a lot of them don't agree with me, and human nature is, you're going to go with your people. That's just human nature. When it comes down to it, if the line was drawn right now, I would not be surprised that my white friends would line up with their other white friends. And me as a black man, I'm going to line up with my black friends. That's just human nature, okay? Let all this kumbaya shit, please, that's brainwashing to disarm us. See, and that's what a lot of our baby boomer parents have done. They've taught these kids to disarm themselves. And so my far right guy says, I don't understand why these guys argue with you so much because a lot of what you're saying is right. Well, or factual or, it's whatever. And I had to tell him, I said, well, that's how white supremacy works. When you brainwash the people that, you guys need to brainwash, you don't have to do any fighting. They'll fight for you because they want to be near you. And I know you guys don't believe this, but I do talk to my friends like that, my far right friends. Because to them, we're almost kind of on the same page. They're the first ones that tell you, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, right? Do for self. That's their mantra, right? What does the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Louis Farrakhan say? Do for self. It's the same formula. But the difference is, like when I talk to my right-wing friends, you guys keep telling us to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. How can you do that when your boots don't have any strings in them? They don't have any straps in them because you stole them. See, and that's where we have our disagreement. It's easy to say that. How can somebody be a first-generation American citizen and already gets the vice presidency? I've been here. My people have been here for over 400 years, and we haven't. The highest position we've ever gotten is Secretary of State. And I'm not talking about Colin Powell. I'm talking about Condoleezza Rice. And she was terrible. I mean, we're running out of time, you guys. That's the bottom line. So after these 4 years, I don't want to hear anybody complaining about what we didn't get. We've been telling you, the new black media, we've been telling you. Right now, you got people that are talking about $600 that's going to save them. $600 ain't going to do shit for anybody. But you got these people that will sit here and tell you it's going to do a lot. Other countries that are second world countries, Britain, and so on and so forth, we're the richest country in the world, and we gave a one-time payment. Do you know why they did that? is so people can default. They can take our wealth. This is why we are running out of time. It is a game. Both of these parties are working together. The ruling party. I'm ringing the alarm, but you guys aren't getting it. It's a game. Why would Nancy Pelosi do the vote that she did, and that vote only takes one person to obstruct it? Because she wants you to think that she's fighting for you, and she's really not. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to be okay. Okay? At the end of the day, I'm going to be okay. Now, are you guys going to be okay? I don't know. But when that day comes, and this is why they're delaying this. They want as many people to default and do whatever they got to do so that they can take all the wealth. It's consolidated. It's consolidated. The only good thing that we can say as Black people, when you have nothing and you're from the bottom, you have less likely to lose anything. Okay? You're less likely to lose anything because you're at the bottom anyway. We better start waking up, everybody. This is, I see what's going on. And that's why I'm saying do for self. Because when you have your own money, you can sit back like myself and you can look at what's going on and it's oh so clear. Sometimes I feel bad when I see my stocks go up and I see all these people suffering. Yes, kids in cages is a bad thing, whatever. But you know what? I'm not concerned about those people. They're going to be all right. I got to be concerned about my people and the kids in cages. Wrongly so. Systematic racism that's going in. They give us these symbolic positions and we're supposed to be cool with that. No, we're not cool with that anymore. What is the point of putting a Black face in a position and they don't do anything to better our position? That isn't how it works. But yet, these minstrels will tell you that is how it works. And while they're telling you that, they're dancing in front of you. Yeah, look, Master likes us dancing like this. Look. Just give us some time, and in time, this man. No. You're dealing with a different group of Black people. They see no future. They see the wealth being stolen right in their face. And you are telling them to be passive and peaceful and everything is going to get better. Really? Really? You actually believe that? Well, all I can say is when I'm abroad traveling, doing what I want to do as a free man, I'll be thinking of you guys. And I always think of you guys. I don't do what I do in the new Black media. We don't do what we do because we have nothing to do. We're trying to ring the alarm. Because just like Malcolm X said so many years ago, they may have the gas ovens already built before you even realize they're hot. And then when that happens, it's too late. Hey, you guys, I'm Donovan Sadiq. This is the Donovan Sadiq Show. Don't forget to check me out on the Demetra K Show and the War Zone. Demetra K Show tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'm on the War Zone at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Man. And I want you guys to also check out my compadre, Demetra K. She is on the African Diaspora News Channel on YouTube. So check her out. She drops a lot of great commentary. Again, another new Black media. I don't know why you guys out there that are the minstrels think we have all this time. We don't. Andrew Yang, an Asian man, said we don't have any of that time. And as they snatch up the rest of the wealth, then what's she going to say? That's what I thought. And it's always the people that are still enslaved, like Prince said. You're still on the plantation, telling the people that are off the plantation and are free how it works. All right, you guys. We'll see you guys again next week.